Okay, so we're now on to the next page, number 5. I've got my system of equations. I got 2x plus y equals -2, 5x plus 3y equals -8. Now, our first step is to always make sure you have one of your equations solved for one of your variables. Are either one of my equations solved for either variable? No, okay, so it's our job at this point to take one of my equations and solve it for a variable. Now, you have choices. There's lots of choices here, okay? I'm gonna tell you that one choice is gonna be a lot easier than the others. And I'll give you that, I'll explain why. But your choices are, which equation do you wanna try and solve for a variable? And then which variable do you wanna solve for? You can solve for x or y, it does not matter. So here's the deal. When you're doing mathematics, we've got a lot of steps, right? Okay, and the more you learn, the more you realize how many steps there are. So you want to try and start thinking ahead a little bit. What is going to lead to the least amount of steps, to the easiest solution? Okay, the easiest route. We don't want to take a rocky road when we could do something a lot easier. So I'm going to choose to solve for this y right here. And the reason is because all I have to do is move my 2x over to this side. That's it. That's all I have to do. If I were to say, let's say, solve for this y, I would have to move this 5x over, and then I'd have to divide everything by 3. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to deal with fractions because -8 divided by 3 is a fraction, and 5 divided by 3. So I don't want to have to do any dividing if necessary, okay? So I'm going to choose to take equation A and solve for that y, okay? So this is going to be different than the other guy because we have to solve for y. So let's do that first. Okay, so all I have to do is subtract 2x from both sides. Subtract 2x from both sides, so I have y equals, now it really doesn't matter which one you write first. I know whenever we write slope-intercept form, we always want to make sure the x one comes first, right? Because y equals mx plus b, but that's not what we're doing here. So it honestly, it don't matter. It really doesn't matter. You could say -2x minus 2, or you could say -2 minus 2x, okay? All right, so this is my new equation A. I'm gonna write this up here because I like this one a lot. This equation now is going to be my new equation A. All right. So now it's time, since we have my equation A solved for y, I'm going to plug it into the equation B, right? So I take equation B, just like we did before, 5x plus 3y equals -8. And instead of y, what am I going to write? I'm going to write -2 minus 2x. Equals -8. I really didn't give myself that much room. That's -2 minus 2x. Okay, so I'm going to distribute. Now you notice this 5x isn't being distributed. Okay, this is being added. It's the 3 that's being multiplied. So I got 5x. Okay, be careful with your signs. I always like to distribute and then write a plus or minus. +3 times -2, -6. So don't write that plus sign until you know what the next number is going to be, or the next value. It's a negative, so I'm just going to write a minus. +3 times -2x is a -6x equals -8. All right, we distributed. Now it's time to combine like terms. I have 5x minus 6x. I have a -1x, or just -x. Still have my -6 equals -8. Okay, we've almost got x all by itself. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So I have -x equals -2. You can divide each one by a -1, right? Because you need to get rid of that negative sign. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. Positive x equals a +2. All right, so we see how it took a little bit of extra work to be able to plug my equation in. All right, so now it's time to find the other half. Now, before we just plugged it into the original equation, right? Equation A. And you can do that, that's fine, but I'm gonna tell you something. We made this equation, we tailored it into a way that it makes it so easy to solve for y. because it's already solved for y. All you have to do is plug in those x values. So it's up to you which one you want to use. You can use this guy or that guy. I'm going to plug it into my newly refurbished equation 9, okay? It's the newest model. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. Okay, so I have y equals -2 minus 2x. But instead of x, what do I want to substitute in? This guy. I just found out what x is, so I'm going to do that. All right, so y equals -2 minus 4. Y equals -6. So my solution is 2, -6. All right, let's work out the next one together. Okay, so number 6, we're running into the same issue where one of my equations is not already solved for a variable, so it's our job to do it. I want to pick one that's going to be easy, okay? Can anybody guess which one's going to be easy? It's going to be that y in the second equation, okay? Why is the y so easy? It's because it has a coefficient of 1, okay? I don't need to divide away any coefficients of 1. So usually if I decide to use the substitution method, okay, like here in a couple days, you're going to have lots of methods. You have 3 different methods to solve. How do you know which method to use? You've got to foresee it. Which one's going to be easiest? So a lot of times I'll use the substitution method if one of my variables has a coefficient of 1, because it's super easy to just move that bad boy over there and then substitute it in, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. This is equation A, this is equation B. I'm actually going to use equation B right now for my substitution. So let's rework equation B for a second though, because I need to get it solved for y. So what do I have to do? Subtract 2x from both sides. I have y equals 9 minus 2x. Okay, so this is my new and improved equation B. I like it. Okay, he's more useful than the other one to me right now. Okay. All right, so what do I do? Now that I have this one, equation B solved for y, I need to take this expression and plug it in for y right here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take my equation A, 2x minus 3y equals -11. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to plug it in where the y is. And I didn't leave myself enough room, of course. So I'm going to erase the y, and instead of y, I'm going to write 9 minus 2x. Those parentheses are important or you're messing up multiplication, guys. All right, so let's distribute. Be careful because this is a -3, so when you multiply, you need to make sure you're multiplying each piece in here by -3. The 2x goes unaffected. -3 times 9 is -27. -3 times -2 is a positive 6x, so don't be writing any pluses or minuses until you know. All right, now we combine like terms that are on the same side, right? So I got 8x minus 27 equals -11, okay? 8x, I gotta add 27 to both sides, sorry about that. 8x is equal to a positive 16. Okay. Now finally divide by 8. Those go away. X equals 2. So what do we do with this guy? We're going to take it back into that first equation that we used for substitution. Now, like I said, I like to use the new model. We made it look nice and pretty for us, so use it, okay? Try and find ways to make math a little bit easier, right, guys? That's what we need. We need math to be easier. Okay, 2 times 2. So I have y equals 9 minus 4. Y equals 5. So my coordinate is 2, 5. All right, guys, we got one more video to watch after this.